Welcome to the Furious Stiles Podcast. I am your host, Furious Stiles. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We about to get into it, y'all. Hey, yeah. Let's go. At the Furious Stiles Podcast, you will hear different perspectives from myself and my guests on music, life, and everything in between. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Furious Stiles. Let's go. All right. We're back up in this thing. It's your boy Furious Stiles with another episode of the Furious Stiles Podcast. And today I got a special guest with me, and we are connected because of my queen. If it wasn't for this man right here, my queen wouldn't exist. So I want to give a big round of applause to Mr. Muhammad. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. All praises due to Allah.
All right. Let's get a little bit closer.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Make sure we can hear you. So today, first thing I want to do is, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine. All praises due to Allah.
Yeah. I want to ask you, since this is a hip hop podcast. Now, of course, we talk about more than just hip hop, but I want to ask, as far as like music, you know, because we're always talking about music on this podcast. What you been listening to lately? What do you like to?
Well, actually, I like all kinds of music. You know,
Okay.
I mean, I like some rap. You know, depending on the kind of rap it is, positive rap.
Right.
You know, I like rock and roll. I like some blues, some
okay.
jazz.
Okay.
You know,
Cool.
I like some country and western.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. So, like I know one of the main things that you like to do is you like to you're a big fisherman.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you listen to music like while you're fishing, or you just be out there and enjoying?
I just be out enjoying the outdoors, the scenery,
Okay.
just being out there,
Oh.
you know, and the anticipating on of a fish biting.
Yeah. I hadn't been out in a minute. Of course, one of my favorite things to do outside of making music, doing podcasts, and all the things that I'm known for. Of course, one of the things I love to do is golf.
Right.
I'm out there with my queen. I'm out there with my brother a lot of times, and we get out there and enjoy this weather. But I got to get back out to the water with you though.
Oh yeah.
See what's up with that fish out there, because that fish that you be bringing to us is delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you season it. I mean, of course, my queen, she do her thing, but like when you season it up, man, that's the business.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I like it myself.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I figure, if I like it, the other people will like it as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we enjoy it, man. We appreciate the last time you brought it to us as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're going to get into today, I wanted to. I guess I'll go ahead and let everybody know the name of today's podcast. I named this podcast "The Real Enemy."
Okay.
And in parentheses, it says health issues.
Right.
So that way people get it correct. I would say, like, for me, even though we've got all these different issues that the hip hop community or, black folks, Americans, whoever you want to talk about, whatever the demographic is, everybody has like issues in regards to, or things that we believe is a big reason for, maybe our demise, maybe our health, maybe the reason why a lot of us are passing away. Some people might say our biggest enemy is the government. Some people might say it's the police. Personally, when I look at the statistics, I see heart disease as being the number one killer for black folks.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now, of course, heart disease is up there high for all different races of people. But if we're talking about specifically maybe the black community or maybe the hip hop community, even though hip hop is comprised of all different races, but but the black community, hip hop community, it's kind of run parallel with each other. I would say that that's the number one thing. I would say that the same energy that a lot of people put into like the police, and I'm not giving bad police a pass. You know, I do support the good police. I'm not giving bad police a pass or anything, but I would say that we probably have a bigger problem with the way that we eat. Okay. I feel like our diet and that heart disease and those numbers that I saw with the amount of people who have passed away from heart disease and other things, I would say that our health is our real enemy.
Well, yes, I would say that too, but I would also say that you named a few entities that would be that some people would say was our number one enemy.
Right.
And all those that you named, I would say the government is the number one enemy. Mm-hmm. And he facilitates all these other means of our demise. And
right.
Like you said, the number one killer would be heart disease or heart attacks, like that, But I would say it's the government that makes way for all these different conditions, because they're not being honest with the American people. And they're letting things go on the market that's against the people's health.
Okay.
You see. And, they're doing it purposely. It's by design. They want to get rid of us. That's all it is. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, there are some a lot of people out there that believe that population control is real.
It is real.
They feel like when you look at the amount of people, I think we're almost at 8 billion people on the face of the planet now,
right.
And I don't think that was part of the plan. I don't think that they wanted it to be that many people, because when we start talking about resources and we start talking about there was a study that I saw not too long ago, and this goes directly to somebody like you who's a big fisherman. They were saying by a certain time, or I forget what the year was, but they were saying by a certain year there's going to be like way less fish in the water because of how much fish is being consumed by humans. Mm-hmm. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think that you was like, that's bullcrap, because fish are producing so many fish. There's no way in the world that we're going to run out of fish.
No, not that fast. I don't think so. That's just my opinion. Based on what I know about the fish.
Right.
Because I don't know everything that there is to know about it.
Right.
And they may be right, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, but when we look at talk about like resources and things of that nature, like I guess that's that's the reason why some people might have the same sentiment that you have, is because when they talk about population control, that's the thing. It's like, we don't want so many people on the planet because there's, other than just fish and food, there's space, and there's all kind of reasons why, certain powers that be might not want so many people on the planet.
Right. Well, that began back when Henry Kissinger was the Secretary of State under Richard Nixon.
Okay.
He wrote a memo, you see, and the memo was read, it would be easier to kill 1 million people than it would be to control 1 million people. See?
Okay.
So they made that as a matter of policy. The government did. The United States government made that a matter of policy to cull the population of the planet. You see? Because, the red, the black, the brown, it's multiplying at a rapid rate, right, even today. Mm-hmm. You see? And that's what they call a white supremacy mindset.
Okay.
They're afraid because we're taking over. I say about 25 or 30 years ago, their own demographers, white people. Mm-hmm. These are people that study, the population growth and other, things in the country.
Right.
They said then that by the year 2050, if the black and the brown and the red continue at the present birth rate, that by the year 2050 AD, that we would literally be able to breed ourselves into power. Take over both houses, the Senate, the Congress, take over government.
Right.
Because of sheer numbers, you see. And Minister Farrakhan, he asked the question, if you was of a racist mindset and you were in control of the government,
right,
and you knew this, wouldn't you, put certain, systems and plans in effect to offset this?
Do you think that and that's a good point. Do you think that survival? I would say that you don't think that that's specifically like a Caucasian thing. Do you think that that's just humans trying to survive? Like any type of human would try to do that to survive?
No, because see, we understand, that God has never put more on a person than they can bear, on anything that it could bear. You see, do you really think He's going to put more on the planet Earth than it can bear?
It's a good point. That's a good point.
And Elijah Muhammad said that the white race actually is a burden on the planet, and the planet wants to get rid of its burden. You see, because they've raised hell and shedded blood ever since they've been on the planet. They've shedded blood, the blood of all people, even shedded their own blood.
Right.
During the Civil War, World War I and II. These were white people against white people.
Yeah, that's true. So what about? I would say this. Those are some historical things that have happened. Somebody might counteract that and say, "Hey, look, you know that Africa, the tribes have been fighting each other there for forever as well. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, could it be that man just kind of is always going to have a difficult dealing with man, whether he looks like him or not?"
Well, actually, they have not been doing that forever. They've been doing it as long as this man can go back, and as long as we can go back, you see. And that's within the last 50,000 years.
Okay.
You see. But beyond that, we didn't do that.
Right.
No.
So, like, I guess when we kind of like, circle back around to today's, today's issue on the podcast as far as like health is concerned and everything, what would you say, like, what would be a way that we, the people, could, counteract that U.S. dietary plan? Because the reason why I say this is because there's a guy, I can't think of his name. It's a prominent doctor. He's actually a Black American doctor, and he goes around and he does speaking engagements. And one of the things that he talks about, one of the things that you and me talked about recently about the dairy and how that affects us and stuff like that. And he was just saying that there are certain ingredients and enzymes inside of milk that certain people people of close African descent, because we all descend from Africa, but people of close African descent, people of close Asian descent, they're the worst off when it comes to taking in dairy. Now, to pull all this together, when we talk about people in power and certain ideas that they have and ways that they want things to go, isn't it funny that this country for the longest time has had a campaign called "Milk Does a Body Good," and then once you start, you know what I mean, or got milk, and they got the little pictures and they got the milk mustaches and all that type of stuff, and then once you start looking into the actual research of the contents of milk, you end up finding out that milk has been causing things like prostate, issues, prostate cancer, inflammation, all kind of different things like that. So, like, what do you think is a way that we the people can counteract this U.S. dietary plan? If we know this is not the best thing for us, what do you think that we could do to really spread the message and let people know? Because there's going to be a lot of people there. They're just going to be like, man, I'm drinking whatever I want to drink. But what could we say, or what could we do to maybe open people's minds to a different diet? Because there's a lot of people where they are just, I know somebody right now, this is who I'm thinking of. They are just dead set on eating and drinking whatever they want. But they're feeling the consequences of it. You know what I mean? So this will help me get my message to who I'm thinking of right now.
Well, I mean, all you can do is tell a person. You can't make a person do.
Exactly.
You see? But all you can do is give them the truth based on facts.
Right.
And hope that they understand and accept it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can remember, man, when we were drinking milk, milk didn't bother us.
Yeah, it didn't bother me when I was younger. But once I hit a certain age, like, man, milk is...
I believe it's after they start tampering with the milk.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, that stuff that they call whole milk, that stuff is not fit to drink.
Yeah.
All it is, they've taken all the cream out, all the butter, and which butter comes from the cream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they've replaced it with what they call powder form vitamin D.
Yeah, yeah.
And some other ingredients, who knows what.
Right.
It's not even real milk.
Yeah.
And that's really what's, I think, in my opinion, that's what's really causing the problem. You see? Because,
good point.
We were going to the farm, to a farm in Mississippi buying the raw milk.
Yeah,
and that milk didn't cause no problem, because me, that milk that you buy at the store, they call home milk. If I drink that, the next day, I'm all congested, bringing up all kinds of phlegm, mucus, see. And some people, it gives diarrhea.
Me.
It don't do diarrhea, but it congests my, upper, in my chest and head.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't drink it. But raw milk, it don't do that to me.
Oh, okay.
It didn't. And that's last year I was drinking that.
Yeah.
But then they stopped selling it. The government tightened up on them, and they couldn't sell it to us no more.
What's the word for that? What is it called? What they be doing to the milk? Is it called homogenized?
Homogenizing and what's that other word?
I can think of pasteurizing.
Pasteurizing, that's the word. Those are two things they do: pasteurize, homogenize.
Right, and that's how they're changing up the actual ingredients and stuff.
What they're doing, they're raising the temperature at a rapid rate and then lowering it. See.
Okay.
And according to them, to kill the possible TB, germ that's in the milk. See what I'm saying?
Right.
But you don't have to heat it up that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah. That's why, because that's always the reasoning for all the ingredients. Whenever you look at the back of a milk carton or anything, once you see like all this stuff in there, and then you look it up or you listen to the USDA or whoever explain why all that stuff is in there, it's always they always say things like, oh, this is to preserve it, or it'll go bad in a day if you don't, so they're always saying that there's a reason for it, and maybe so, but
basically those are the reasons. Preservatives, chemicalized preservatives, you see, which is actually poison to us. Toxic, See, so I mean that's really what's responsible for our low tolerance for a lot of things, milk included. You see, and I don't think. I believe that we're not as strong. Our Constitution is not as strong as it used to be. The people of today, especially the younger people.
Yeah.
Because of the. I mean, look what they're eating.
Man.
Fast food restaurants throughout our community. Women feeding their families out of these fast food joints.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing young people, as far as like weight is concerned, and like I said, I'm definitely not a body shamer or anything like that, but. There's a bit of concern when I'm seeing, people who are young folks who are like, 7 and 8 years old and they're
obese.
They're really, really big. So it's definitely got to be something going on, with these with the fast food
with the food with what they're consuming
and the corner stores, like even before fast food got popular. These crappy corner stores have always been in the lower income neighborhoods. Yeah. With just horrible stuff in there.
And it's by design. It's not an accident.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And you have to blame the government.
Right.
They allow it. The government allow it. The government actually sets it up, sets the stage for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like for me, it's I just think that This will be the thing that I would say to combat a lot of this. I just think that we need to start having more people have these conversations like what we're having today and get it out there to the world, via podcast, via YouTube.
Right.
Because there's plenty of people talking, just bull crapping on the internet every day, all day.
Wasting time.
Yeah, wasting time. But and like I said, I'm not saying you can't have fun with the internet and stuff like that. But there was a point in time before we had this internet. People were literally living in these neighborhoods. They didn't know any better. They didn't know it could be better. They thought that the corner store, they thought that was the way of life. They thought that was the grocery store. We go over there and, we get this, we get this milk that's got 15 grams of sugar in it. I mean, they just think it's regular. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. They don't know any better.
Right. They don't know any better. But I just kind of feel like today, now that we had this medium of the internet, like people who know better, we got to put that information out there.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so the other thing I wanted to talk about in regards to like health, since we're talking about government, we're talking about, the possibility of, of their whole influence. Mm-hmm. The other thing is there's some big scary numbers out there in regards to malpractice with doctors.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know how like people get really mad at the police whenever they make a mistake, and then it ends up being a fatal mistake a lot of times. Like, there's a lot of doctors out here making fatal mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of malpractice out here. Like, what do you got to say about that?
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, really, I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's going on.
Yeah.
And it's really all about them making money. See, now the pharmaceutical industry, the doctors and all, they've all made their money.
Right.
And they know, many of them knew that they were wrong. They shouldn't have been doing what they were doing. See, so now, the attorneys are making money. You see?
It's like a circle of money. Like this person starts making money, then this part, it's like a domino effect.
That's right. You see? And they all know about each other,
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly seeing these commercials on TV. I just recently had a hernia had a hernia fixed here.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember.
now they on TV every time you look around. They talking about if you had a hernia fixed, between such and such a time, to contact this number if you're having complications. They list a number of complications that you could have. To call that number, and they'll look into it and see if you qualify for if you have a case.
Right.
Well, I did that too, and they told me I didn't have no case. But see, I can understand that though, because I haven't really been diagnosed with anything that they contributed, that was contributed to. I mean, that was related to that mesh.
Oh, okay.
I can understand that. So if it had been, I probably would have a case.
Yeah, I mean that's a really wild concept, because I've seen so many of those commercials where somebody's like, if you took such and such between this time and this
even
time.
the NSAIDs and whatnot,
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of things that we're supposed to have so much confidence in with these medicines and all kind of things, and that kind of leads me to my next thing. This whole pandemic that we got a whole pandemic going on right now, with the C-19, as we call it for short.
Right.
And I'm not going to say that as a human, I don't want to sit up here and say that I want to see the failure of a vaccine. But at the same time, when I look at the track record of science labs and how long certain diseases and things have been around, and how they just kind of seem to be, for lack of better words, I want to say clueless. They kind of don't really know how to handle certain things like cancer, or they've got all kind of theories about where Parkinson's come from, or dementia. There's all kind of things, and these scientists, they're always working to try to figure all these illnesses out. But if I'm sitting up here and I'm looking at at all these science labs, and they're never really curing anything, they're never really coming up with vaccines for stuff, and all of a sudden we have a pandemic, and you got a vaccine in less than a year. How am I supposed to trust that?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because that's kind of like I said, it kind of goes back to what you were saying, about the commercials and stuff like that, and certain issues that came about with whether it was a procedure, whether it was a medication, and then all of a sudden, you got lawyers talking about, hey, if you took this between, and I'm kind of looking at the C-19 vaccine that way. I'm just like, are we going to be zombies next year? Is it going to be The Walking Dead for real? I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want it to work. I'm just saying that
You don't trust it.
I don't trust it. I don't feel good about it. And I'm not going to say, I never say never. I'm not saying that I'm never going to take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as of right now,
Nope.
I'm not feeling it.
That's it.
And these are the type of conversations that I've had with my own family. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, if my spirit doesn't feel right about something, how can I just do it?
And then if a third of the healthcare workers are not taking it,
Yeah, that's definitely a real statistic.
yeah,
I read that.
yeah. So why would I try? Well, anyway, before all this came up, before they even come out with any kind of thing that they can call a remedy or a vaccine, Elmer Louis Farrakhan told them the 4th of July on the Criterion address when he was talking to Bush mainly.
Okay.
You see, he told me,
Screw
how did he have that? He said we're not going to take the virus. And he told all of us not going to take the vaccine. He told all of us not to take it. You see, and he said that if you try to force us to take it, we're going to consider that an act of war. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he told us wait from the jump, don't take it, because they ain't got nothing that they know that would work. They don't have nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's my whole thing. I'm just kind of like, I'm not surprised that the Johnson & Johnson has been such a flop.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
no.
Because, I mean, I get the whole thing with Moderna, and there's a certain technology that, that comes with what they're doing. And I get it. They're doing some cutting-edge things. That's cool. I would be lying if I didn't say that, hey, I invested some stock money into Moderna.
That's okay.
I'm cool with that because I kind of feel like, they might be on to something. But I still, for my own, just my own health, my queen's health, I just want to make sure that everything is on the up and up. Like, you can't tell me 9 months later to just take this injection. I'm just not finna do it. I need to see what happens. And if I see that people are walking around and they good, then maybe I'll consider it. But I'm not finna just take it all real quick like this.
And there's nothing wrong with you making money. Everybody else making money. Government, these different government agencies are making money and getting certain, system in place. Based on this situation, the coronavirus. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
you're not hurting nobody by investing in what you feel that that's more, applicable than that Johnson & Johnson or that other one. Whatever. What's that other one?
The
Moderna and
Pfizer.
Pfizer, Pfizer. Man.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, for me, I got a big love for technology and stuff like that. I do like the fact that Moderna, they use technology to create, I guess basically a code to fight against the virus without actually, because most times vaccines, they usually come from taking part of the virus and then, melding that with other chemicals and then boom, putting it into your body, then your body will create the antibodies and then you can fight against it. But I like how I think it's called MDRA is the name of the technology they use, that Moderna's using. And I do like the fact that they're not using the actual virus. I can appreciate that. But
you still can't trust them.
I still need to see the results. You know what I'm saying?
Still can't trust them. Because they look at me. It's a lot of theories out here, man. They dealing with mind control and all this other kind of stuff.
Right.
So, you never know, man.
Yeah, I mean...
they got the capability now to do these things.
Yeah, they do. I mean, like I said, I'm looking at Moderna, I'm looking at Pfizer, and but then I look at that Johnson & Johnson situation, and I'm just like, that's when you know that things can go wrong with these vaccines because they screwed up with that.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a big deal.
Well, I'm gonna follow what my leader said. He said don't take it, and he was adamant about it because he even went so far as to say if you try to force us to take it, we're going to consider it an act of war. So nope.
I just kind of feel like for me, I look at it as I'm not judging anybody for doing it. If like I said, if y'all want to take it, then
That's
cool.
it.
Then cool. Like
It's
I said,
your life.
Yeah, my own family members. I'm not mad at them or anything.
No.
I'm just saying for me, especially the way that my queen and I, the way that we are about our health, we're so big into natural stuff. We're not quick to take an ad.
So why would you take a chance? Why you gamble? Why would you gamble?
Yeah. I mean, we're just so much more into natural stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I get the whole thing where sometimes, I don't know, you might have to get in a lab and make something if you can just never have a natural source to fix stuff. But I don't know. Like I said, if somebody was like, hey, look, I've got something that's natural, of the earth, and it can do it, then I might rock with that a lot faster.
Yeah.
But when you're telling me you're up in a lab and you're putting something together, and like I said, you're using a bit of technology, that's cool too, but I still just want to see the results. Like I just think it's too early.
Yeah. I want to see some test results.
Yeah, man. I want to see some results.
Yeah.
So I think it sucks, big time. I feel for everybody who's lost somebody. I mean, there's a possibility that somebody that we know, Miss Beverly's sister, that might have succumbed to that. Maybe we don't know it for sure, so I don't want to say it.
Yeah.
But I just know that we're familiar with how bad it's been. I mean, it has been a bad thing.
I know my best friend here in Memphis. It took him.
Yeah.
Sylvester.
So yeah, that's another thing to all the people that's out there watching this on YouTube or listening to this. On your podcast app, don't think that we're saying that it ain't real. It's just that everybody has their way of dealing with things.
That's right.
Like I said, you might run out and do the vaccine thing. I might say, look, I want the vaccine to work. I hope it works.
Yeah.
But I want it to I just want to see what happens before I do anything in regards to that.
Yeah.
And until then, I'm going to keep on taking my vitamin D.
Yep. And your vitamin C.
And your vitamin C.
And your omega-3.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
This the commercial, y'all. We're going to be right back. Yeah. We about to get into all things Furious Stiles, y'all. Listen up. Let's go. Hey, yo. Go to furiousstiles.com for all things Furious Stiles. We got music, beats, merch. But if you want to go directly to the merch, then go to furiousstylesclothing.com. We got hats, shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, bags, everything you need, baby. We are now being sold on Amazon, eBay, Etsy. Just Google us. We're on Instagram. We have a Facebook shop. But if you want to find out more about Furious Stiles himself, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Let's go. Hey, y'all, we back. That was the commercial. We having a nice, good conversation over here, man, and all of a sudden the commercial pops in. But I definitely want y'all to go to furiousstyles.com, and everything about me is on furiousstyles.com. So definitely go there and check that out. And then also furiousstylesclothing.com. I got a bunch of dope clothes, hats and shirts and all kind of things I want y'all to check out. But anyway, thanks for listening to that commercial. We about to get back into the subject matter at hand. And actually, while the commercial was running, there's some good information that I kind of want us to repeat that some people might want to consider when it comes to your health and keeping your immune system up.
Right.
You mentioned was it zinc?
Right. Zinc, omega-3.
Yeah.
And vitamin C.
Yeah, and then vitamin D.
Vitamin D3.
Yeah, D3 specifically. Yeah.
So it should be 5,000 IUs, international units.
Okay.
Of vitamin D3.
Okay.
And 5,000 milligrams of omega-3.
Okay.
And what's that? Zinc and zinc. Well, zinc. Yeah, I think that's 50 milligrams or something like that. Yeah. Zinc, omega-3, zinc. Vitamin D3, and it was one more. It was 4.
We said C, D, omega-3,
D, omega-3,
and zinc. Those are the 4
that
things.
was 4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And keep in
those
mind,
are the main 4.
Right
there.
And keep in mind, y'all, we're not a doctor or scientist. I just want to put that out there so nobody comes up. These are just things that we've been doing, and they've been working for us. I can't remember the last time I was sick.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know. I don't remember the last time I was sick because I'm consistently every day I get up in the morning. Like I said, Mr. Muhammad, all of the vitamins that he just mentioned, I've got that in a multivitamin. But I also have vitamin C separately. Mm-hmm. Then I've got vitamin D separately. Mm-hmm. I think I got some omegas up in there that I've been taking. But I also, I like to take. My queen got me on this every morning when we get up before we eat anything. We drink a little cocktail, sea moss, got lemon juice in there, cranberry juice in there. We put a little sweetener in there, a little natural sweetener from the stevia plant.
Right.
We do. Now she's got her own thing. Like she got a whole bunch of other stuff in her stuff. But this is what I do, and I think I also put. Oh yeah, we do the apple cider vinegar. We put that in there too. Okay. And then I take the cup and I fill it up with some good filtered water. I usually have it up to about 12 ounces, and then and then shake it up. And of course, y'all have to be careful for anybody that's listening to this that might want to try this stuff that I'm talking about because it's an immune booster. It gives you energy. It keeps you from getting sick. But make sure that you get you a good straw, when you put it in your cup because you do not want apple cider vinegar. And when you talk about the sea moss, I think that's a teaspoon. Yeah, teaspoon of sea moss, tablespoon of what do I do? Tablespoon of lemon juice, tablespoon of cranberry juice, and a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. So that's what I do. And then, like I said, a couple of packets of stevia, and then fill it up with water, about 12 ounces. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that people know is that if you're going to drink this cocktail, make sure that you got like a straw, like a metal straw or one of those big, rubber straws, because you want to keep apple cider vinegar off of your teeth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't mess with the enamel. So I don't want anybody out there just gulping it down and you got apple cider vinegar splashing all over your teeth. No, you need a straw to make sure that it just goes right down.
And you wind up with sensitive teeth.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, so I can tell y'all that that's something that has been making me, been giving me a lot of energy, get me going in the morning. And it's been an immune booster because I'm never sick. And then, of course, and then I think for me, I usually follow it up with some good old green tea.
Yeah.
And there's something called Fotai.
Okay.
Hishuwu, I think. Yeah, Hishuwu is like the Asian word for it. Fotai is spelled F-O-T-I. And this is kind of like an anti-aging agent, if you will.
Okay.
It's a natural thing as well. It's just something that I take, it's just kind of like it's like an extra thing. But I just put that in some tea because I'm going to drink me some green tea every day anyway.
It sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, it's good, man. So, but anyway, that's, like I said, it's an anti-aging thing. So it kind of, it's good for your body too. It's kind of a good thing for immune system. It does some other stuff. I think specifically like for men, I think it's pretty good for like the prostate and stuff like that as well. So that, might want to look into that. But anyway, these are the type of things that I like to do, when it comes to sicknesses and stuff like that. This, just build that immune system up.
Yeah. That's how your body repairs itself. I mean, this is the only, for the lack of a better word, machine that's designed to fix itself.
Right.
And it fixes itself by way of the immune system.
Right.
But then there are ways and means of keeping the immune system strong to enable it to do what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Fix this right here. You get your a scratch right there. A couple of days later, you look at it, you see a scab coming on. That's the body fixing itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually magic if you think about it.
It really is.
You know what I mean?
It seems magical anyway.
Yeah, it seems like, because people will always make a big deal out of things like a starfish.
Yeah.
How you can cut the arm off and then it'll grow it back.
Right.
And I'd be like, well, we might not be that advanced, but I still think that the creator deserves a lot of credit for how he made us because man, the fact that we can get cut and then all of a sudden it disappears.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think that's amazing.
I like to always say, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he wrote that monumental book called How to Eat to Live.
Oh, yeah.
And see, really, that's really all we need. All these newfangled diets and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just stick to that right there,
Yeah.
See, it's just like you buy your new car,
Okay.
Well, they also give you a manual, owner's manual. And that manual tells you how to take care of it,
Yeah.
and everything. See, and I'd like to always say that the How to Eat to Live is the manual for this, for the real house of God.
Right.
You see?
Right. Yeah, I mean that's our temple. You know what I mean?
It is.
There's a it's funny too because some people might read some of the stuff that's in that book and they might be like, man, can't nobody afford that. They'd be like, that stuff be at Whole Foods, it'd be at Trader Joe's. You can't afford that stuff. Well, there was a sister that came on this morning show. Was it the Breakfast Club, and the radio show, and the sister's name was her name was Queen Afua, and she's like big into getting these diet teachings out there for people to better their health by the way they eat, and one of the people said something like, they were like, hey, but that stuff is too expensive. And then she said this. She said, it's more expensive being sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, the sister, she could have just dropped the mic and left after that.
But see, that's the thing, though. See, the How to Eat to Live book, what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, don't cost nothing that much.
Yeah.
Because it's basically talking about fruit and vegetables.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But isn't it like, but in order to get some good fruit and vegetables, shouldn't they be something, like organic, something that might cost a little bit more?
They should be,
pesticides and all that
right,
stuff.
And see, and that's where your high price come in at.
Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it don't cost much to eat like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say eat.
Yeah.
He focused on the fruit, the vegetables, the navy bean.
Oh yeah, man, I love me a bean pie. I love them navy beans.
Yeah, man. And that's basic. That's basic, and that's what I basically eat.
Right.
I mean, I eat fish, because he said fish is a better food.
Right. Yeah.
If you eat the better fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because you can't be sitting up here eating catfish every day.
No,
that's
shrimp
the
and lobsters and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
what we call the shrimp sea bugs.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, he's actually a pesticide. I mean, he's a like a not a rodent, but an insect.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, you know, like the crab, the lobster, they're in the roach family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like underwater roach.
Yeah, and the shrimp and they're also scavenger. They bottom feeders.
Right.
You see, they're filthy, so
Yeah.
you shouldn't eat that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I'm not a big fan of shrimp. Like I kind of never been. I noticed that I've always loved fish.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But when it comes to, because I'll never say, I can say now that I'm officially a pescatarian, like how you are.
Right.
Because for many years I haven't been eating red meat, pork or beef.
Okay.
For God knows how many years. But I've been what you call a pesca pollo vegetarian.
Yeah.
That does seafood and poultry. Now I don't do the poultry anymore. I just do seafood.
Okay.
And it's funny because when I look back on my life, I realized that was always my favorite meat anyway. It was always fish. Like that was the time when, even as a kid, when I would be excited to eat. When my mom, would cook some fish or whatever. So, but yeah, it is definitely the type. You got to be careful because that, like I said, like there's certain seafood like that shrimp,
lobster, crabs.
Yeah, lobster, crab.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
You don't eat that stuff.
You got to be careful with that. Now, like I said, for me being a pescatarian, I would be lying if I said that I didn't indulge in crab a little bit. Shrimp, I've never been a fan of it really. It's I don't really have a problem not eating shrimp, but man, I love some fish though.
I've eaten lobster. I've eaten shrimp.
Lobster's all tough anyway. It's all tough meat, and I don't know how people even like it really.
Yeah, and I've tasted crab, but I never liked crab.
Really, the crab? You had crab legs?
Yeah, I'm stringy. I can't deal with that.
Really, I love me some crab cakes. I love me some crab cakes.
I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
I tasted it, but
Yeah, everywhere we go, the appetizer, I got to get some crab cakes. Like we can get a different appetizer no matter where we go out to eat.
Well, crab cake might be all right, but I'm talking about the legs.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the crab cake may taste all right.
Yeah.
But they're not all right to eat because they're not clean.
Yeah.
But the crab legs, I tried them and I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But crab cake, I tried it. It was all right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just for me, you know what I mean? I'm just excited. Now here's the funny thing. I'm just gonna tell you a quick story as to how I got to this pescatarianism that I'm in now. So since I've been doing the poultry thing for the longest time, here's the funny thing. Do you remember when they had the big phenomenon from Popeyes, the fast food restaurant with the chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
All right. Now, what if I told you that chicken sandwich was the last straw for me? Like when I went and the first time I had the chicken sandwich, I thought it was good. You know what I mean? But when I went back a second time, it was so big and juicy. And when I bit into it, I swear I felt like I was biting into a human. And I was just like, this is gross. And I realized I was done with poultry. That as much as the Popeyes chicken sandwich was such a big thing in America, for everybody to go get it, oh man, it's delicious, whatever. That Popeyes chicken sandwich actually changed my life because that was the last time that I ever wanted to eat chicken because it was just gross. It was like I was eating something that was alive or something. It was just it was just nasty. So I had to throw that little story out there because that was my last time with chicken.
I quit eating that for about 10, 11 years ago. Chicken and turkey, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I stopped eating beef in 1995 when they first started talking about mad cow disease.
Oh, yeah. And E. coli and all that stuff.
Yeah. And I stopped eating pork in 1969 when I was 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I think we similar on that. I think I was 20 when I stopped eating pork. So we about the same age.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I was 20.
Yeah, I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, no,
I ain't gonna say where I was though when I quit.
You said where you were?
I ain't gonna say where I was when I
Oh,
stopped.
okay. We'll leave that for off the podcast. So,
Okay.
but yeah, man. I mean, that's. I just think that I don't really like. For me, I don't find it to be. Whenever I have gotten rid of, like when I got rid of pork, I was never a big fan of pork. When we used to eat it, that was the meat that I didn't really like. With beef, I think I kind of burnt myself out on beef because I used to love that 3rd-pound burger from Backyard Burger. Y'all notice how every time that I say about something, I stop. It's a fast food restaurant that made me stop wanting to eat this stuff. I don't know what they supposed to doing with the food, but eventually you get sick of it.
Well, you know what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us? He said, take your mouth out of other folks' kitchens.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
In other words, out of the fast food joints, these different, even they ain't got to be no fast food restaurant. Period. You don't know about these. These are strangers that's cooking your food. You don't know how clean they are.
Right.
And there's a certain chemistry goes into cooking. See, he told us. He said the health of the family lies in the hands of the woman in the kitchen. She controls the health of the family in the kitchen if she knows if she's on her job.
Right.
You see, because she's going to serve food that's going to improve the health, keep the family's health up to par.
Right.
See.
Yeah, I mean,
if she don't know, she can't do it, but she got to know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's why
men do it.
That's why I'm so appreciative of PB. That's my queen. That's her nickname, PB.
Right.
That's why I'm so appreciative of her because she pretty much she's very open minded about finding different recipes and making different things and like she been making all this delicious vegan stuff.
Yeah.
And so
I've tried some of it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I mean she throws down. So I mean like I said, I'm really, and everybody don't know how to do all that. So I'm really appreciative of her for doing that. The other thing I wanted to throw in there was I talked about the pork. I was never a fan of that, and then I got tired of beef. And then I told you about the chicken thing. But I'm telling you, like, when I think about like veganism, you know what I mean? And like I said, salute to all the vegans out there. Y'all got some of the best food in the world. That's some of my favorite food is vegan food. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I love fish so much. I don't see myself being a vegan. You know what I'm saying? I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I feel the same way, bro.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. Because, I mean, there's some people, they be like, oh, man, you almost there anyway. You don't eat nothing else.
And the other thing, I don't really see it necessary.
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, this is just our opinion. Y'all can, if y'all want to be vegan, don't let us shame you. But, man, I love
But
fish.
for me, I just don't see it necessary,
Yeah.
Yeah. One day I might stop, but right now.
Yeah, not now, though.
You know what, though? I probably would have stopped if it wasn't for the crappie.
Man, that's the that's one of the ones you be giving us, crappie and brim, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh man, that crappie be so good, man.
For that crappie, man, I probably would have quit. In fact, I would have quit back 10, 11 years ago when I quit eating chicken and turkey.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just couldn't cut that crappie.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because like I don't have to have like catfish and stuff like that.
Oh no.
But
no. Won't eat that
and we shouldn't be eating it. But like I said, but stuff like that brim and that crop, man, that stuff is so delicious, man. I don't know. I don't see veganism in my future. I'm just gonna stop at the pescatarianism for now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm sticking with.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I went and bought some orange roughy the other day.
Oh yeah, you like orange roughy?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I wasn't a big fan of that when I was a kid. I would have to try something now to see how I feel about it now.
The way I do it though, I don't do it the way the instructions is on the package. I'll get my skillet, oil it down with some butter and everything, and then slice onions and line the bottom of it with onions and lay the fish on top of that.
Okay.
The fillets on top of that. And then put my seasoning on it, different seasoning on it, and I put butter on, cut some pats of butter and put it on top of it. Then top it with bell peppers, onions,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you got a whole process.
Yeah, and then, on top of the stove. Sometimes put it in the oven, but on top of the stove, and then turn it up, let it get going, then turn it down medium.
Yeah.
And let it simmer.
Yeah.
Oh, I slice some tomatoes too and put it on top of
it. You might have just put somebody on to something with that.
Well, I do all my fish. If I like the crappie, I even do the crappie that way if I don't fry it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, man, I'm gonna have to try that because, like I said, the last time I had orange roughy, I think I was a kid. You know what I mean? So I haven't had orange roughy in a while. But man, that would definitely that definitely sounds like something I need to try.
Shoot, try them around them big crappie fillets on there too, buddy.
Yeah.
On top of them onions.
Yeah.
And put some pats of butter on top of it, some bell peppers, some onions. And cover it.
Yeah.
Put your seasoning on there and then cover it and let it simmer, man.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I like to put have plenty of gravy in mine.
Yeah.
Cause see, I like to brown me some rice on top of the stove.
Okay.
Like Mama told us, he said brown your rice.
Okay.
Cause that it's too starchy. It's laden with too much starch. You see what I'm saying? And when you brown it, then you burn some of the starch off of it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, actually, do it in the stainless steel skillet. You can see the starch going upside the skillet. Put your tablespoon of oil in there. Put that dry rice in there. Turn the iron and keep it moving.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
That's right.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's in the message. It's in How to Eat to Live. You know? I remember Mr. Farrakhan teaching one time. He said he was teaching on how our rice and potatoes are too starchy for us. Laden our stomach with too much starch, contributing to sugar diabetes. He said, he asked himself a question like somebody in the audience might ask. He said, Farrakhan, do you eat rice? He said, every day.
Yeah.
He said, the Honorable Muhammad taught us to brown our rice.
Yeah.
Thereby, you burn most of the starch off of it.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Make it fit to eat.
Hey, I'm telling you, you just taught me something because I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I knew that. I know that I've heard about like brown rice.
Brown rice got more starch in it than white rice.
Really?
You make sure you brown that.
Yeah. Somebody told me. They said something about like brown rice might not have been that much more healthier than white rice.
No, brown. I'm talking about that so-called natural brown rice. It's got more starch than white rice.
Oh,
believe
wow.
it or not.
Wow.
You see?
Oh, yeah.
So when they brown that rice, and then I chop up bell peppers, onions, and put in there and then season it, and then,
That sounds good.
Yeah, put it on top of the stove, and I season it with my, my different herbs and spices and whatnot.
And serve that with some good old.
Oh man, look at that gravy I was talking about that I make on the fish.
Yeah.
Man, I spray some of that gravy over that rice, man.
It's over.
Oh
yeah.
man, I'm telling you.
That's what I like. A lot of times when I eat fish, rice is usually the perfect thing to go
And
with.
then the other thing is, I'll make me a vegetable medley. This is my main meal. I've been eating this for decades.
Okay.
I cut up some broccoli, cauliflower. You see, then I cut up bell peppers, onions, and put some carrots, some of those baby carrots in there.
Oh yeah,
you understand me?
Yeah.
And season it with my garlic and and whatnot, different herbs, and everything that I put in there, basil, turmeric, paprika.
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan of turmeric.
Oh yeah, turmeric.
Listen, let me tell y'all something about turmeric. I'm glad you mentioned that. I had for like the longest time, pretty much most of last year, I was having like shoulder issues, and PB was saying like, hey, you should try some turmeric or whatever. And I started taking that turmeric, and let me tell you something. I don't have any issues with my shoulder anymore.
You got the job done, bro.
I mean, like, hey, y'all can say what y'all want. Like, this is I know this for me. Whatever shoulder issues that I had, I don't have them anymore.
That's right. See,
it's gone. I mean, it's gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you another thing that worked. I'm not advertising for it, but I take it. It's Omega XL that they advertise.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
That stuff worked, man.
It do.
I'm telling you, man. I was taking. Omega 3, turmeric, all those are blood thinners.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? That's how it, stops the pain. You see,
okay.
Allow the blood to circulate more to that inflamed area.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Thereby relieving the pain.
Right.
Yeah. I take the turmeric and the omega 3. They go together. You see? And I mean, it works, man. See, but doctor took me off of them for a while, because of the surgery. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
because,
yeah. I know how that goes.
Take no problem with bleeding. Excessive bleeding.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm back on it now.
Yeah, whenever you got to do surgery, you always got to change up your intake on.
Man, look, I had that pain in my shoulder, and I was taking that Omega XL, man. All that pain went away.
Yeah.
And that turmeric too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Plus, I put turmeric in there, everything. I put it in my rice. I put it in my vegetable medley that I make. That I was telling you
You can
about.
put it in one of my out of the green teas that I like to drink. Like one of the flavors is turmeric.
Yeah.
They got turmeric in there, so it's
Yeah, brother. Sure.
Yeah.
I put it in, like I say, and put it on my fish when I cook it. Everything that I cook, I put turmeric on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, been doing it for years, decades actually.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I heard
put it in my bean soup.
I heard about that. PB was saying that you do that.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
I
Like, because that's a big deal. Because when I think about like hip hop, and I think about one of the best rappers to ever do it, somebody like Big Pun.
Yeah.
You know, he was like I said, I don't want to put too much information out there because there's still a little bit of uncertainty of everything that he was going through. But I guess he was dealing with like depression and stuff like that, and then he got really sick. He was kind of like eating very, very unhealthy and kind of overdoing it.
Right. He was already big.
Yeah, and he was already big, so it was kind of like it just kind of contributed to a lot of health issues, and unfortunately we ended up losing him. But that's why I wanted to have this podcast today, because I don't want one of the greatest rappers to have ever rapped to pass away because of health.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Especially, you know what I mean? Because like I said, this podcast is based around hip hop, but it's also based around how the whole world connects to hip hop. And I just kind of feel like there's a lot of ultimate or unbelievable or great MCs or rappers that we've lost from health issues.
Yeah.
And so I hope that whoever the next superstar MC that's listening, that might be watching this or listening to this right now, I hope y'all are taking heed to this, because we need y'all to be healthy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we don't want to. I don't want another greatest rapper alive passing away, because they weren't eating right or.
And plus, they were driving like flies. Heavy D.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
Man, I'm trying to think. Now some of the people that I think of, I don't think it's not necessarily because of diet, because I know for me the first thing that comes to mind is Pun, but of course I think when we were talking off camera, I mentioned another great rapper to do it, Prodigy. Now that was he had sickle cell anemia. That was a situation where there's not a whole lot you can do about that. That just kind of happens. There's certain things that happen to you that we don't know, because we're not scientists. We don't really know like what you can do to not have stuff like that happen. My favorite rapper ever, his name is Sean Price. From my understanding, there might have been some sleep apnea issues going on there. So, I definitely want people to know that, hey, look, there are definitely situations health-wise that we just don't know. In the year 2021, I do feel like a lot of things that we do is connected to things that we ingest or things that we're around, our environment. I do feel like, there's a reason for every sickness, but unfortunately we don't know all of the reasons, for the different sicknesses. But even though we don't know all the reasons, this is the one thing that we can do. We can control how we eat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And we do know that this makes a difference.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I just wanted to throw that out there, because I still want the hip hop community out there to understand that this this podcast is it's very important for us, because we've lost a lot of greats for that reason. But hey, you know what? That's it. You hear the theme music in the background.
I was gonna say something else too, but that's.
No, we could do a part 2. You know what I mean?
Not tonight though.
Yeah, not tonight.
Yeah.
But hey, we're gonna go ahead and go out on this. I just wanted to talk about this issue, man, because this is definitely a big deal in the hip hop community. We got to do right. We got to eat right. We got to do better. So I want to make sure that you all go to furiousstiles.com to learn everything there is to learn about me, and go to furiousstylesclothing.com and so you can support the show. I actually have on YouTube, I've got a PayPal, if you want to donate, just to help out the show. And hey, I got music out there, everything. There's all kind of ways that you can support your boy. I want to thank Mr. Muhammad, and we out.
Okay.
Furious Stiles.